Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is Thursday, January 25th, 2024, and I want to welcome you back to the Season of Self-Love podcast, and I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I'm here to walk you and walk with you as we discover new depths of personal growth. And in our prior episodes, we discussed the significance of setting intentions, of being grateful, and creating a supportive group. But today we'll look at an important part of our personal development, and it's embracing risk and stepping outside of our comfort zone. And it's about embracing fear and stepping outside our comfort zone is our topic for today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. And when we're going to come back, we're going to talk about how fear affects our personal growth and our intentions, all right? It's your girl, the Goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on this Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl, the Goddess, Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by me and Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to axnyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you.
I often find myself feeling stuck in my life and like I'm not reaching my full potential. But with Elevate Me, self-discovery, I've been able to tap into my inner self and discover what I truly want out of life. Elevate Me, Self-Discovery is an incredible program that combines video learning, self-help, and amazing audio to guide you through a journey of self-discovery. From feeling freedom and guided meditation to self-love and empowerment, this program is perfect for anyone looking to unlock their full potential. Don't let life pass you by.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the Goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're going to be talking about, embracing fear and stepping outside of your comfort zone. So before we get into today's topic, I want to start this off by doing a breathing exercise to center ourselves. And this exercise will prepare us to confront the subject of fear with openness and courage. So I want you to breathe with me as we build a space of calm and ready to meet the difficulties that lie ahead of us, all right? All right, I want you to find a comfortable and quiet place where you can sit or lie down. And close your eyes and take a moment to settle in to a relaxing position. Begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs with fresh air. And feel your chest and abdomen and expand as you inhale fully and hold the breath for a brief moment. Slowly exhale through your mouth, releasing the tension and worries from your body. Feel the stress leaving with each breath out. Now bring your attention to your breath and notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils as you inhale, and then the feeling of leaving your body as you exhale. And as you continue with your natural relaxed breathing, imagine that with each inhale you are drawing in a sense of calmness and peace. Visualize this calming energy filling your entire body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And as you exhale, imagine releasing any fear or anxiety that you may be holding on to, and let it dissolve into the air and be carried, and let it carry away. Now take a moment to acknowledge the fear or the challenge that you are preparing to confront. Recognize that it's okay to feel free, but remind yourself that you have the strength and the courage within to face it. Now, with each breath in, invite a sense of openness and acceptance into your being. Allow yourself to be receptive to experiencing and knowing that it holds potential of growth and transformation. Now, as you exhale, breathe out any resistance or hesitation that may be present, and let go of any self-doubt or negative thoughts that may be holding you back. I want you to continue breathing this way, focusing on the sensation of calmness, openness, and courage. And allow each breath to reinforce your readiness to confront your fear with a positive mindset. Now, whenever you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment and take a few more deep breaths in and out, gradually returning to your usual breathing pattern. And I want you to remember that this breathing exercise is a tool to help you to prepare to confront your fears, but that the real work happens when you take action with openness and courage. I want you to trust in yourself and know that you are capable of facing any challenges that comes your way. All right, I want to thank you for again joining me in this morning practice here. And if you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is a breathing exercise that we do Monday through Friday here. And this is a way for us to do a part of our self-care routine, all right? And it kind of calms us and keep us grounded and center us so we are ready to receive the topic for today. All right, and speaking of the topic for today, again, we are talking about embracing fear and stepping outside of our comfort zone. And in this segment, we'll look at the functions of fear in personal development, as well as developing and achieving goals. We'll talk about how fear, which is frequently regarded as a barrier, can actually be a fuel for progress when properly welcomed and understood. So fear can serve both as a protective and a limited function in personal development and goal achievement. And on one hand, fear acts as a natural response to potential threats, helping to keep us safe and alert. And it signals the need for caution and can prevent us from engaging in dangerous and harmful situations. But then on the other hand, fear can act as a barrier to personal growth or goal attainment. It often stems from uncertainty and the fear of failure, rejections, or stepping outside of one's comfort. So when fear becomes excessive or irrational, it can hinder progress and prevent individuals from taking necessary risk and pursuing their goals. But however, fear can also be seen as an opportunity for growth and development. So by acknowledging and understanding our fears, we can learn to manage them and use them as motivation to overcome obstacles and challenge. So facing our fears can build resilience, confidence, and self-efficacy, all of which are important factors in our personal development. So in the context of goal achievement, fear can provide valuable information about the importance and the significance of the goal. It can highlight areas where we may need to acquire new skills, seek support, and develop deeper understanding. So when we embrace fear as a natural part of the process, we can use it as a catalyst for personal growth and increased determination to reach our goals. And it's also important to note that not all fear are rational or beneficial. Some fears may be based on false beliefs or past traumas and may require additional support, such as a therapy or counselor, to overcome. So in these cases, it's important to seek professional help to address and work through deeper emotional issues. So overall, fear can play a complex role in personal development and goal achievement. And learning to navigate and harness fear effectively can lead to personal growth, resilience, and greater success in reaching our goals. All right, so now that we got the understanding of what's the function of fear in this personal development as we are developing and achieving our goals, now let's talk about how fear, which is frequently regarded as a barrier, can actually be a fuel for progress when properly welcomed and understood. Now we see fear is often seen as a barrier that holds us back from progressing and achieving our goals. But however, when harnessed properly, fear can actually act as a fuel for progress. Now here's how fear can function in personal development and goal achievement. One is awareness and motivation. If you bring fear awareness to the potential risk or challenge involved in pursuing a goal, then it can motivate us to take actions and make necessary preparations and develop strategies to overcome obstacles. Next is by pushing beyond your comfort zone. Fear often arises when we step out of our comfort zones. So by embracing fear and pushing through it, we expand our limits and grow personally. And this helps build resilience, confidence, and adaptability. Next is about learning opportunities. Fear can highlight areas where we need to acquire new skills of knowledge. It prompts us to seek growth in developments, pushing us to learn and acquire the necessary tools to overcome challenges, as well as it heightens our focus and clarity. So when fear sets in, our focus intensifies and we become more attentive to details, potential pitfalls, and alternate solutions. See, fear sharpens our decision-making process and allowing us to make more informed choices. And also transforming failure into lessons. Fear of failure is common, but it can be powerful catalyst for personal development. And when we face our fears and experience setbacks, we gain valuable lessons and insights. And these experiences enhance our resilience, problem-solving abilities, and determination. So to harness fear as a fuel for progress, it's essential to acknowledge and confront it instead of avoiding or suppressing it. Embrace fear as a natural part of growth process and reframe it as an opportunity for self-improvement. And set realistic goals, break them down into manageable steps, and celebrate each small victories along the way. But remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking action despite of being afraid. Okay, and again, these were just some on some functions of how we can see how fear can actually be a personal development achievement. It can be a positive thing for us. But also, here's another question that you can think about. How can we differentiate between fear that hinders progress and fear that fuels progress in personal development and goal achievement? See, we're differentiating between fear that hinders progress and fear that fuels progress in personal development and goal achievement. It can be challenging, but there are a few key factors to consider. Here is one factor: paralysis versus action. Fear that hinders progress often leads to paralysis and inaction, and it keeps individuals stuck in their comfort zone, afraid to take risks or make necessary changes. On the other hand, fear that fuels progress spurs individuals into action, and it motivates them to step out of their comfort zone and take calculated risks and make bold moves towards their goals. The next one is limited beliefs versus growth mindset. So fear that hinders progress is often accompanied by limited beliefs and negative self-talk. It reinforces the idea that failure is inevitable or success is impossible. Fear that fuels progress, on the other hand, is accompanied by growth mindset. It sees a setback as a learning opportunity, and it believes in a personal growth and improvement, and embraces challenges as it means to develop new skills. Another one is avoidance versus embracing challenges. Fear that hinders progress often leads to avoidance. Individuals may shy away from challenges or difficult tasks due to the fear of failure or disappointment. See, fear that fuels progress, however, encourages individuals to embrace the challenge head on. And they see the challenge as an opportunity for growth and development. And they actively seek them out to push their boundaries. And another one is negative impact versus positive impact. And see, with fear that hinders progress has a negative impact on individuals' well-being and overall achievement. That can lead to stress, anxiety, self-doubt, and a lack of fulfillment. But fear that it fuels progress, on the other hand, has a positive impact. While it may still cause some discomfort, it ultimately leads to personal growth, increased confidence, and a sense of accomplishment. So to differentiate between these types of fears, it's important to self-reflect and honestly assess how fear is impacting your mindset, your actions, and overall progress. If fear is keeping you stuck and is hindering your growth, it may be necessary to reframe your mindset, challenge your limited beliefs, and take small steps towards embracing fear as a catalyst for progress. All right? All right, so I'm going to take a quick break and then we're coming back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the strategies of facing fear and getting out of your own comfort zone. All right? It's your girl, D Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to kickstart your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life? Introducing Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off Your Healing Living Journal by Nyomi. This transformative journal is your personal guide to achieving physical, mental, and emotional well-being. With its easy-to-follow prompts and powerful exercises, you'll embark on a 90-day healing journey like no other. Each morning, as you open the pages of this journal, you'll discover thought-provoking questions, uplifting affirmations, and space to reflect on your progress. It's your secret weapon to breaking free from old patterns and embracing a healthier, sexier you. Say goodbye to self-doubt and hello to self-love. Good Morning, My Sexy People will empower you to make positive changes every single day. You'll develop healthy habits, cultivate gratitude, and unlock your true potential. Whether you're seeking to improve your fitness, boost your confidence, or find inner peace, this journal is your trusted companion. It's the support system you need to stay motivated, focused, and inspired throughout your journey. Don't wait another day to start living your best life. Good Morning, My Sexy People, 90 Days to Kick Off. Your Healing Living Journal by NmW&x is available now on Amazon. Grab your copy today and begin your transformation. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself. Set, your intentions, and unleash the sexy, vibrant person within. Get your copy of Good Morning, My Sexy People today, and let the healing begin.
All right, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love Podcast. I am your host, Nyomi, and today we were talking about embracing fear and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And in our last segment, we talked about how fear affects our personal growth and intentions. And we also talked about how fear, which is frequently regarded as a barrier, that how we can actually be a fuel for our progress when properly welcomed and understood. So now we're going to talk about strategies for facing fear and getting out of our comfort zone. So it's easier said than done to embrace fear and venture outside of our comfort zone. But in this segment, I'll discuss numerous tactics and approaches to assist you. And we'll talk about how to recognize fear and tackle it and utilize it as a springboard to go over our customary bounds and achieve our goals. So now getting out of our comfort zone can be challenging, but here are some tactics and approaches to help you to recognize and tackle fear by utilizing it as a springboard to achieve your goals. One is to identify your fear. With the first step is to identify the specific fears that are holding you back. Is it a fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown? So by recognizing your fears, you can start to address them directly. Next is to start small. Begin by taking small steps outside of your comfort zone. Set achievable goals that push you just a little beyond what feels comfortable. Then gradually approach allows you to build confidence and a familiarity with new experiences, okay? Next is to change your perspective. So instead of viewing fear as a roadblock, try to reframe it as an opportunity for growth. And recognize that fear is a natural response when entering unfamiliar territory. So embrace it as a sign that you are pushing yourself and that you are expanding your boundaries. Next is to take calculated risk. Risk-taking is often necessary for personal growth. Assesses the potential risks and rewards of stepping out of your comfort zone. So consider the potential benefits of taking action versus the consequence of not taking action. Taking calculated risk helps you to make informed decisions and reduces the fear of the unknown. Next is to embrace the failure as a learning opportunity. Fear of failure can hold you back from trying new things, but shift your mindset and view failure as a valuable learning opportunity. Understand that setbacks are a normal part of the growth process that can provide valuable insights for future success. But also make sure that you seek support and accountability. So surround yourself with supportive individuals who encourage and motivate you. Share your goals and challenges with trusted friends, family, or mentors who can provide guidance and hold you accountable. Their encouragement and constructive feedback can help you stay on track. And last, and one of the most important things is to celebrate your progress. Recognize and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Acknowledge the courage it took to step outside of your comfort zone and reward yourself for your efforts. Positive reinforcements can boost your confidence and motivate you to continue taking risks. And remember, getting out of your comfort zone is a journey that requires practice and perseverance. And over time, you will become more comfortable with discomfort and embrace the growth that comes from pursuing past your boundaries. So this is some ways that you can utilize. You can utilize that fear as a springboard. So you can go ahead and achieve those goals. But also we have some, what are some other practical strategies, right? So what are some effective strategies for taking calculated risks when stepping out of one's comfort zone? So we talked about that just a few minutes ago, about taking calculated risks. But how can we do that? What are the strategies? What can be effective with it, right? Taking calculated risks when stepping out of our comfort zone can help you make informed decisions and increase your chances of success. So here are some effective strategies. Research and gather information. Before taking a risk, gather as much information as possible about the situation or opportunity. Research the pros and the cons and potential outcomes and any relevant data. This will help you to assess the level of risk involved and make informed decisions. Next is to evaluate the potential rewards. Consider the potential rewards that could come from taking the risk. Identify the benefits, the opportunities for growth, and the potential of positive outcomes. Assess whether the potential rewards outweigh the possible drawbacks or negative consequences. Also, set clear goals and define success. Clearly defining your goals and what success looks like to you. So by having a clear vision will help you to measure the potential benefits of taking the risk. And it will also enable you to evaluate whether the potential outcomes align with your values and aspirations. The next is to develop a contingency plan. While taking calculated risks, it's important to have a contingency plan in place. Identify potential obstacles and challenges that may arise and develop strategies to overcome them. So being prepared for different scenarios will help you to navigate unexpected situation and mitigate potential risk. But also remember to start with small steps. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the risk, start with small steps. Break it down into manageable action that gradually push you outside of your comfort zone. And this approach allows you to build confidence and gain experience. And it's making it easier to take bigger risks in the future. Also, don't forget to seek advice and support. Consult with trusted mentors and advisors or experts who have experience in that area that you're exploring. And they can provide valuable insights, guidance, and support as you navigate the risk involved. So their perspective can help you to make more informed decisions and minimize the potential pitfalls. And last and most importantly, trust your instincts. While gathering information and seeking advice, remember to trust your instincts. Listen to your gut feeling and intuition. If something doesn't feel right, take a moment to reassess and evaluate whether that risk is worth taking. Your intuition can provide valuable insights that analysts alone may not uncover. So remember, taking risk always carries some degree of uncertainty. But by following these strategies, you can increase your chances of success and minimize potential negative outcomes when stepping out of your comfort zone, all right? All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. We're going to come back and I'm going to share a quick story with you on how overcoming my fear and how that fear was part of my barrier, but also it was a part of me overcoming some things, all right? It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with NmW&x, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join NmW&x on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we've been talking about embracing fear and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And in the last two segments, we talked about how fear affects our personal growth, as well as sharing strategies on facing fear and getting out of our own comfort zone. And in this segment, I wanted to share, my personal experience on how I allow fear to be a barrier for me, as well as I learned how to use it as a learning experience for me to actually, as a catalyst to help me to go outside of my comfort zone, or which I thought was my comfort zone. So I don't know if I ever shared this story with on this platform or any other platform, but I used to be a part of a singing group. I had signed a major record deal many, many years ago before I even got into the adult industry. And actually, music is my first love. Music has always been my first love. And once, things kind of fell short with the record deal and everything like that, I kind of came away from it. So now let's fast forward to the adult industry. So now I'm in the adult industry, and I am very, very successful in the adult industry, like up there with the tops, in this industry. But still, I kept finding myself going back to my first love, which is music. So I created a whole record label. I had quite a few artists on that record label, but also I wanted to get back to music myself. And so I began to produce and create my own music. And I had a dear friend of mine who was a record exec. And then I had one that was, a DJ for one of the top stations in New York. So I would send, some of the work that I did, and I would send it to them. And he would say, "Oh, this sounds good. It just needs some, it just needs some good remixing and stuff like that. Whenever you get a chance, whenever you're in New York, I want you to come, to my, to my studio, and we'll hook you up, Nate." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So fear kind of set in, because I even though I was in the comfort of my own studio at home, I didn't know how it would be once I stepped outside of my comfort zone. See, my comfort zone was my studio. Now I'm stepping into someone else's studio. I'm going back into the professional realm of the music studio, which I hadn't been in over 10 years, okay? Mind you, I have been doing acts of things that have, in my mind, have ruined my vocal cords or my voice. And so I wasn't as confident as I was before. Going into it. So literally I get into the studio. I mean, we having a good time talking, and, we listening to the track that I did. And he said, "Well, all this needs," he said, "all you need is retune and, back." He said, "I know you haven't used your voice. You probably need to, get with a singing coach just to act with your tones and stuff like that. Cause your tone is good, but to get those notes right and stuff like that." He said, "But I got a song for you. I think we should start off with this song." So I go in there and, mind you, he had already sent me the song. So I'm in the studio, and I'm there. And before I knew it, I started to sweat. I started to get lightheaded. Like, it just felt like I'm in this little box, and it's like everything just started spinning. Then all of a sudden, I came into an anxiety attack. I could not breathe. I could not do anything. So imagine this, a woman who has been in front of the world, bucket naked, doing the most intimate thing on camera, is in a little booth in a studio, but is afraid to open her mouth in front of, it was only 4 people that was in that room, to where I literally shut down. Paralyzed. And I couldn't understand what it was. And my friend was like, "Man, I just heard your track. You did it at home." But the word was at home, in my comfort zone, in my comfort level. So I'm sharing that with you because to let you know how it just truly just shut me down at that moment. Now, at that time, fear was the inactive, the paralyzed me, everything, because I was looking at failure. I was looking at judgment, and I was looking at not good enough anymore. All right. So I left from there. We did something, but I left from there. We did a little track. I wasn't good with it, happy with it. And I said, no, I'm just going to continue to stay behind the scene as a record producer and just do it like that. And that'll be it. I don't need to get up front anymore. That's it. So I ran away from it. All right. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward into me now retiring out of the industry. Once again, I'm doing something that I love to do, which is designing and creating clothing. And I decided to do lingerie. But not only just regular lingerie, I'm talking about the full with the big giant robes and the men walking pieces and all of those things, right? So this is how hyped that I was. I've called Adrian was working over there at Exotica. So I've already set up how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to present it. It's going to be Intimates by Nyomi&x, IS, Intimate Seductions. This is all like I had the whole plan out. I went shopping for the material. I had all of the designs. I even had one of my good girlfriends draw me out some designs too to team up with me on a couple of things. Like I had it all planned out. So now it's time for me to sew. Mine, I hadn't sold in years. I think the last big thing that I sold was me and my best friend and her mother. The three of us had made my first wedding dress. Yes, I made my first wedding dress. And that was probably one of the biggest things that I did with the beading and all of that stuff. So now fast forward, now I'm getting ready to do this stuff on my own. I don't have not my good girlfriend and her mother with me, but this is just me by myself doing this whole line of lingerie, of clothing. But not only that, but I'm coming out of the shadows of who Nyomi&x was as a performer. Now I'm coming into a whole entity, right? Mind you, I shared with you before about the kiss about my cosmetic line. All right. So now we're going in something that everybody can accept me in as, okay, I can see her doing it. I can see her moving from here to here. I can see that makes sense from A to B. And so for me, it was making sense. It makes sense for me to go from A to B. And that will be, part of, my whole, thing. So as we getting closer to that, well, let me go back because I skipped. So I usually have a booth at Exotica, whether it's me that I'm have myself, a booth that I have myself, or if I'm signing with someone. But on this particular, I asked if I can have a booth. And then I was telling, him what, I was doing. He said, oh my God, Nyomi, that'll be great. He said, why don't you get such and such a size? He said, and then do a fashion show. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, you can do a fashion show at each city that we do. He said, I think that would be amazing. I think that would show something, a different depth, a different perspective of what they see adult stars at. I'm like, great. He said, well, count us in. We all aboard. Mind you, I just got a stamp from somebody else, right? So I should be up in arms and just very like, yeah, let's do this, girl. As I'm creating and I'm getting closer to the date, I'm taking pictures of everything. I'm sending them to my loved ones, to my friends. And they say, oh my God, that's dope. I think I'm a week out. Literally a week out. And anxiety hits. And when I mean anxiety hits, I had a headache every day. Like spinning, like everything. Like it was literally shut down. Like I could not even get out of the bed. And I was sitting there like, what is happening? What is going on? Then I went into my prayer closet. And I was like, please, God, remove whatever this is that is going on with me. I don't know what's happening, but I know that I can do it. I know that I can do it. I know that I can do it. And at that time, I didn't know that there were lessons for me to learn. So then those lessons were me to apply them right now. Did I get through it? Yes, I did. I got through that moment, but now I recognize what that was. But what I was able to do is now moving forward, I'm able to use those fears as a catalyst to overcome my fear, to come out of my comfort zone You understand? So after I did that, then I was able to do a show in New York, come back and do another show at LA. So I was able to do multiple shows around, showcasing my abilities and another thing that I love to do. Fast forward to here right now with my different podcasts. Coming from Ask Nyomi to now doing the Self-Love podcast. And what I use, my fear from each one of them is I use this. If anything, I'm going to learn something that's going to better enhance not only my future, but someone else's future out there. Because my lessons that my failure, and if you can see me, I'm putting parentheses up, could be somebody else's triumph. And I think about that now. So when I look at fear is a test for me. Fear is a challenge for me. Like, okay, come on. Let me see what this is. Let me learn from this. Let me grow from this. And that is how I overcome with fear. So I hope that you all have followed me through this, because it could be very long. Definitely I'm writing a book, but it's going to take a minute. But what I'm telling you is that from fear, and I believe I shared this before, fear shows up in so many different ways. Fear shows up in so many different ways. It's masked in so many different ways. From procrastination. Yes. Ooh. Yes. Procrastination is a big thing. We're going to talk about that one day. That's going to be a big topic for us one day. We're going to talk about that. All right. But that's a bit of my story that I wanted to share with you all on how I was to, overcome fear. And I'm going to be very honest. Fear sets in every day. It does. But then that is where we have to change our mindset. And instead of looking at fear as a barrier, as something to stop us, look at it as something that truly can be a catalyst to where we want to go. To help allow us to get out of our comfort zone, to get out of our way. To get out of our way. All right? All right, so we have come to the end of our show. And as we wrap up today's episode, I want to urge you to tackle your anxieties and venture outside of your comfort zone. I want you to remember that every step you take, no matter how tiny, is a step closer to conquering fear and accomplishing your goals. And I want to thank you for joining me on this adventure. I want to thank you for sharing this space with me. I truly do. And I look forward to hearing about your brave steps towards conquering your anxieties and broadening your horizon, as well as accept the fear as a companion on your journey to success and progress. And also I want to say this. I want to thank you to my very special listener out there who has truly been listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast, because I got a gift. I got a gift of a variety of colors of sticky notes, from the black to the gold, to the marble golds, to the gold pens and ink pens. Thank you so much. So let me say what it was about. I guess maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I'm not too sure. I talked about making notes around the house, and I say as in my bathroom is white, black, and gold. And I hadn't really been sticking anything on there because I only have the pink, green, and yellow. And that I was, looking for sticky notes, just something, me just being weird in that way. You're putting sticky notes onto my my mirror in my bathroom so it can all be color coordinated. Yes. And this beautiful person, thank you again, sent me a nice package. And yes, I do receive packaging. I'm very open for gifts. But again, thank you. And again, thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for continuing to tune in every morning or afternoon or evening, whatever time you are listening to me here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. But also, don't be selfish. You can share me with other people, meaning you can share Self-Love podcast with other of your loved ones, your friends or coworkers, or whoever you feel that might need some uplifting or encouraging words of wisdom. You know what I mean. All right. Well, again, today is Thursday. You guys have a good day. Again, have a good one. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Sending light, love, and prayer.